This lady was about to spend $29,000 with me, and I couldn't let her do it. I had to get up from my chair, I walked to my boss's office, and I quit my job right there on the spot. See, the story that I'm telling you revolves around sales. I was 20 years old, and I got in what I thought was going to be my dream job. I was selling cars. See, I grew up around cars. I absolutely loved them. I washed and waxed my car every week. I washed and waxed my dad's car. Like, I grew up and cars were a big part of our life. So I was so excited to finally be selling cars for about a day. And then I realized that selling cars was sleazy and slimy, and it was definitely not the environment that I wanted to be in. I only worked there for a short time, and every day the anxiety grew a little bit more because I didn't want to go in and I didn't want to be part of a high pressure sales process. I didn't want to twist somebody's arm into something that wasn't the right fit for them. Now, the thing is, as a coach or consultant, you have to sell to get people to work with you. And in today's environment, sales has almost become a bad word, and that is so much not the case. I want to pre-frame this by saying sales is when somebody trades something of value, money, for something that they value more than the money. Selling is actually a service. And if you believe that, it will make selling so much easier. But instead, in today's society, we have all this head trash of sales is bad, sales is taboo. People, like, there's all this negative inner turmoil a lot of people have. I've worked with some coaches especially that just have these big negative blocks around it. So today we're going to talk about the C in the R.E.A.C.H program, which is comfortable closing. And it's closing in a way that is super, super comfortable for you, but is also really comfortable for your buyer, where you're actually doing your buyer a service. Because here's the thing, if you give away your services for free, very few people will ever get any result because of it. Think about the gym membership that is $10 a month. There are a lot of people out there that have this membership and they hardly ever go. Maybe once or twice a month. They don't take it seriously. But then there's the person that has a personal trainer and a high-end gym membership that's spending anywhere between $500 and $1,500 a month on that. Do you think they get out of bed in the morning and work out? Do you think they watch what they eat? Do you think that they show up on time for their personal training appointments? And do you think they go to the gym several times a week? Of course they do, because they value it. What people spend money on, they value. So when you are selling your service, be sure to sell it for an appropriate amount of money based on the outcome that you're getting them. It is not based on the number of hours that you work. It is not based on anything having to do with you. It is based on the outcome that you get for them. What is the pain point that you're solving for them, first off? Then once you have that, make sure that you're selling it for enough that you don't get burned out. There was a coach that I worked with a couple years ago, and she was charging a very low price point for her services. Now, needless to say, she had a lot of people taking her up on that. She was working with more than 35 clients a week. Think about that. How burned out would you be as a coach working with that many clients? And the thing was, at the end of the year, she was making less than $90,000. That is a huge amount of work for not very much money. And the thing was that a lot of her clients weren't getting outcomes. She was churning clients because they spent a little bit of money, but then they were like, I didn't do the work, I didn't get the result, this isn't really worth it. Whereas I know other coaches who charge a much higher price point and the people show up, they do the work, and they get the results. The coach also is able to spend more time learning, growing, and perfecting their craft and giving massive value to their clients because every waking minute isn't taken up with their clients. There's a balance there. That's kind of beyond the realm of this talk. Right now we're talking about comfortable closing though, and the whole key to comfortable closing is having them lean forward with interest and closing them in a way that feels great to them. If you're really good at this, you'll have people who ask you how they can buy from you before you ever make an offer. That is the most comfortable close of all. When somebody comes up to you and says, hey, I know what you sell, I know how much it is, I just want to buy. How do I pay you? I have that happen all the time. That's because I pre-frame people. So the pre-frame is the first thing that you want to do before you ever get to the system that I'm going to show you. So the pre-frame there are 3 steps to the pre-frame. The first one, they either need to be a referral or they need to have seen at least 3 testimonials. That's the first step. The second one is they need to know your pricing. Your pricing should never be a secret. They should know your pricing before they ever get to you, because that way there's no pressure around it. You don't have to, well, I don't know, it's this much and maybe we'll do payments. No, this is what it is. It should be on your website. It should be an information that they have before they ever get to the conversation with you about sales. And the third one is they should know the outcome. Now, I know in coaching and I know in consulting, the outcomes can vary a little bit from client to client, but they should know your general outcome. Anyone who works with me, we're going to grow your business and help you get authentic sales so that you can reach 6 figures in a year. That's the general outcome. Now, of course, that is different for each individual person. That's part of the sales process, but they know the outcome. That opens up the sales process. So the sales process that I'm going to go over with you right here is called the catch process. I believe Zig Ziglar is the one who started this. I'm not 100% sure. I've heard like 5 or 6 different influencers try to take credit for it, but I know that Zig had something to do with it, so I'm going to give him credit. But this system works really well, and it gets people to lean in, buy from you in an authentic way that feels good to both parties. So the C in catch is clarify why they're there. There. Clarify why they are there. When you get on the call, don't spend a lot of time going through a bunch of backstory or back and forth. Just clarify why they're there. Hey, Jill, I'm glad that we were able to meet today. I know that you're really interested in general outcome. You're clarifying why they're there. It takes all the ambiguity out of it and you're taking the lead. Think of the sales conversation like a dance. You're taking the lead and you are guiding your prospective client where they want to go, and you're doing it in an enjoyable way. The A is assign. You want to assign an agenda. So Jill, on this call today, we're gonna just sit down and talk a little bit about what your goals are and about what has been stopping you from getting there. Then at the end, I'll be able to point you towards something that will help you. That might be a book, that might be a YouTube video, it might be a course. I don't know exactly what that's going to be, but we'll see when we get to the end. You want to assign an agenda. Again, you're taking the lead and walking them through. The T is you want to talk them through the pain. So you want to talk them through the pain. Get to know why they want the outcome and why they haven't got it. And keep asking them questions. Well, why didn't that work for you? What have you tried to reach your goal? Where are you struggling? And here's the secret. He who talks the most loses at the end of the day, because it makes the conversation about that person. So if you talk more than your client or your would-be client, you then are making the conversation about you, not about them. And they shouldn't buy from you because you're selfish. You don't really want to get them the outcome. You're more interested in hearing your voice. Instead, listen to what they say, because if you can help them, you'll know how. If you can't help them, then ethically you should point them somewhere else, or you should tell them that you can't help them. But through talking them through the pain, it's just asking questions. So tell me a little bit more about that. Tell me why that didn't work for you. Tell me what you've tried. Tell me what you think will be successful for you. Why do you think that will be successful? You want to keep asking questions. The C is close. So when you close them, all you have to do is say, well, you know, there are these books that you could read, and there are these courses that you can watch, and there are these things that you can do. Or if you're open to it, I can tell you what it would be like working with me. At this point, you don't want to talk about price, you want to talk about what you would do with them. This is the only place that you should talk about that. And it would be, we'll meet once a week for an hour. I'll give you assignments. I'll walk you through XYZ. They already know your pricing. So when you get to the end of this, you can say, you know, my normal pricing listed on my website is $6,000. But because you're on the call today, and you take action, I would be willing to do it for a one-time payment of $5,000. Something like that. That gives you the option to give them a discount or to give them a fast action bonus that is not listed on your website. But because they already knew your price, they now are getting a deal. The last one is H. Putting it over here because I'm out of room. And it's handle objections. So at the end, they're probably going to say something like, well, that's a lot of money. Well, that is a complaint, not an objection. You need to verify that it's an objection. An objection is, I don't have that much money in my bank account. Well, then we need to talk about other options and find ways to do that. Work around that. We need to find ways to work around that. A complaint is, well, that's a lot of money. Well, yeah, it is a lot of money. Is that going to stop you from taking action? You know the result is worth 10 times what I'm asking you to pay. It's 10 times what the investment is. You want to clarify what their objections are. If they're complaints, just liquefy them. Yeah, it is a lot of money. You can agree with them. Always agree with them. So yeah, it is a lot of money, but the result is worth 10 times that. Well, it seems like a lot of time investment. Yeah, it is. You want the outcome, don't you? Is it worth that to you? An objection is, I don't have the time or I can't meet then. Then you might need to work around it. If you follow this system though, and you have rapport built beforehand, which are these 3 steps, this system becomes super easy, and they literally, by the time you get to the end, I've had several clients just be like, you know what, I know this is the right fit, thank you so much, here's my credit card. How can I pay you? What's the best way to get started? If they start asking those questions, the sale is done. So this is a comfortable closing system. If you want to see how this would work in your business specifically, there's a free workbook down below that you can download that will walk you through it. I would also be happy to talk with you. You can click on the link for more information. I would have a way to book a call with me where I would be happy to walk you through this as well. If you loved this video, make sure you subscribe. That way you can stay up to date on all the videos that come out. We're releasing several videos a week right now, which will show you how to build your coaching and consulting practice. Till next time, guys, take action, change lives, and make money.